In life, you have to have a plan. You have to be prepared going into whatever. When I was in college, I took a class, massive lecture hall. The professor would always say, listen, I know a lot of you are sitting here, you're probably nervous. A lot of you probably didn't prepare. And I want you to know right now, if you're sitting here praying right now, not even God's going to help you because you don't deserve it. But I tell you this, you're like, what the heck is he talking about? Yeah, a lot of people didn't deserve it. Luckily, I did well in that class for the most part. But that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is the Patriots, we know right now with Mike Vrabel at the helm, they are prepared going into free agency. And we're going to dive into essentially what their plan is. Some of it we know. Some of it I think comes as more of a surprise, but we're going to jump into that as well. We're going to be jumping into potentially the Patriots made a call for a certain wide receiver. I don't know about that, if that's true, but we're going to talk about that as well at the end of the episode. But that being said, let's jump into it. So the Patriots free agency plan. We know it's just around the corner. The first part's not going to surprise you. Overall, the Patriots are taking a trenches first approach. We know the offensive line, abysmal, starting from the tackles in, working it, trying to see, hey, what we can get to work with, then going into the draft is as simple as that. On the other side of the ball, we look at the defensive line. Keon White needs a complimentary edge rusher on the other side. The interior defensive line as well needs some work. Gotcha is going to be gone. Barmore, we're not sure what's happening with him. If he could come back, that would be awesome. So that is why there's been rumors that it's possible that Mason Graham, if he's at number 4, that's a possibility for the Patriots and Mike Vrabel. But as well as if Abdul Carter dropped to number 4, which again, I know is a long shot. You're telling me there's a chance. Hashtag Lloyd Christmas. I've said that a million times, but it's still a possibility. You're telling me there's a chance. So we know that. We know the trenches need to be worked on. We know that they have been abysmal and they need a lot of work. But moving on, it continues, it says, with cornerback, wide receiver, and linebacker close behind. And what surprises me is the fact that they put cornerback first. We know Christian Gonzalez is an absolute dog, coming off a great season and locking down a lot of big-time wide receivers who later would come out and say, hey, Christian Gonzalez has what it takes, a future multiple, probably all-pro as well as Pro Bowler, even though he was snubbed from the Pro Bowl this year. But he did get second-team all-pro, which he's a baller, so we know that. We know that as Patriots fans, but other people, they need to open their eyes. So he's a solid cornerback number 1. Then we look at that nickel, that slot corner, who is Marcus Jones. Quick, love him, even when he's returning punts, great guy. But then as well, we look at Jay Jones, who's at cornerback 2. Now, the biggest concern is he is getting older. Do the Patriots want to retain him or move on and go to someone else? And based on this, that's what you would assume. Now, there are some younger quarterbacks on the team that we can talk about momentarily when it comes to that cornerback 2 spot. But as well, I want to jump to this really quick. When we look at the cornerbacks, a lot of people have thrown out DJ Reed. I would absolutely love if the Patriots went out and snagged DJ Reed from just the grasp of the Jets. The Jets thinking, listen, we got a new head coach who's defensive minded, oddly enough, just like our last coach. And we are going to really, bring back what we need. We're going to do a good job, blah, 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 blah. But if the Patriots could steal DJ Reed from a divisional rival, that would be huge. Now, he is hands down, when it comes to free agency, the best cornerback. I do think the comparison is pretty cool, and I feel like it's almost meant to be when you have Malcolm Butler as the comparison. So that is pretty sweet. Coverage solid, and when it comes to it, he excelled on a bunch of different metrics when it came to the Pro Football Focus. So that's a possibility, as well as Ward from the 49ers. Again, a very solid free agent. We know that for a long time, the 49ers secondary has been great, as well as that defense in general. So that would be big as well. Another divisional rival in Douglas from the Bills. That would be interesting. And then I'm going to stop right here at Brian Murphy. The reason I'm stopping at Murphy is because Carlton Davis, I highly doubt, a lot of rumors suggest he is going to re-sign with the Lions. So I'd be surprised if he ends up leaving for somewhere else. Byron Murphy Jr. from the Vikings would also be interesting, but again, that's a team that is coming off of a pretty solid season. We'll see what they end up doing at quarterback. Again, I think it's a possibility that Sam Darnold does get the franchise tag. I would be surprised if they let asset like that walk, but we will see. You never know. But Byron Murphy would be an interesting pickup. That defense was very well this year, did very well this year. Again, Douglas as well. The question is, does he want to jump? And it comes down to money, I think, with people on teams that have made playoff pushes. Are you going to pay me more to come over to play for the Patriots where we're going to be in a rebuild? Yes or no? Because if not, I'm just going to stay with the Bills. So the Patriots will most likely have to be aggressive, but that's the thing that's different with the Jets and DJ Reed. Listen, DJ Reed, DJ Khaled, all we do is win. DJ Reed, if he looks at the Jets and how rough it has been, sure, he can help a rebuild there, but the question is, you don't have a quarterback. What else do you have? I don't know. But what's interesting with DJ Reed, too, is he will most likely, if he stays with the Jets, he's going to be the second fiddle to Sauce Gardner. And if he comes to the Patriots, it'd be Christian Gonzalez. But, again, I think the Patriots are in a much better position, and I actually think they could pay more than the Jets. So it will be interesting to see what happens as it comes to cornerback. Let's jump back into the free agency. So, again, I find it interesting because I think a lot of people would say wide receiver is after the trenches, and then I think some people would even say possibly linebacker, then cornerback. But again, that's neither here nor there. I just thought it was very interesting. Again, cornerback, what do you see that situation being? And I will say, before we jump back into the free agency too, is Alex Austin will remain with the Patriots, and this is another interesting one. A guy who came in 2023, that's my fault. He did suffer the ankle injury, missed some games in 2024, but a promising young corner. Now, depth piece, 100%. Great. If DJ Reed came in, for sure he's going to be a starting quarterback. There's no doubt in my mind. And so, interesting, and I think it's great when you see these signings like this because it shows Mike Vrabel that it trusts Alex Austin. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to make the roster this upcoming year, but what it does show is, hey, I like what this guy shows, what I've seen, most likely on film. Let's retain him. Let's keep him. So, interesting. Again, what do you think? What do you want to see at that cornerback 2 position? Comment below. As we move on, it says their plan is to come heavy on day 1 by extending their best offers to their top targets, ideally left tackle, yes, receiver. Now, this is what's interesting. Now it goes to receiver, even though we were talking cornerback. Again, guys, honestly, I'm probably just looking into it. It is what it is. Whatever. Receiver, defensive linemen, defensive playmakers in the back 7. So, again, I'm glad at least this year that left tackle is number 1 and it's not receiver number 1, which it seemed like. And it says this, unlike past off seasons, the Patriots won't hesitate to sign a player if a recent draft pick plays the same position. I know that is targeted at people like Caden Wallace, who plays tackle, Layden Robinson, who plays guard, Javon Baker, plays wide receiver, as well as Jalen Polk, who plays wide receiver. So a lot of promising people that the Patriots brought in from the draft last year, again, that are really going to need to prove themselves. Listen, this new regime in the Patriots organization in New England is saying, we are putting the best people on the field. We don't care who we drafted last year. If you're not going to make the cut, maybe you'll make the practice squad, or maybe you're going to have to try out somewhere else. Go somewhere else, sign with someone else, because this is what we're doing. We mean business this year. And again, I think the biggest thing is Mike Vrabel with that experience, this coaching staff with this experience is going to be able to decipher what is the best approach going forward. And Mike Vrabel is going to give it that stamp of approval. And that's what I have the most confidence in. But I like knowing that hey, well, I don't know if we should sign this player because, well, we have these people in the wing and maybe they'll pan out, maybe they won't. No, we're not playing a game of maybes. We're going to put the best man on the field. If we sign this guy and then Javon Baker balls out, listen, he's the best man on the field. We're putting him on there. But I doubt at this moment, I doubt that happens. I have hope, but who knows? But I love the fact that, hey, day one, we're coming in hot. We are coming in hot. We're going to try to make some deals, and we're going to try to make some moves. And I think that hopefully is going to impress some people to come to the Patriots. Especially, I think they hopefully will have some generous offers, and we will see moving forward. But again, I'm very, very hopeful. Some of this, not really surprised. Others, again, I think it's. I look at it and I think, hey, with the wide receivers, with the linebackers, with the cornerbacks, it will be, I'm really interested to see what happens with this team. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I lost my train of thought, but we're back on the rails. Last but not least, so comment below. Tell me what you think about their approach to free agency. Last but not least, there's a report that A.J. Brown, there was a trade, or there was a call to the Eagles asking if they would be willing to trade A.J. Brown. Now, this is neither, from what I've seen, it may be true, it may be false. Who the heck knows? But when it comes down to it, the Patriots want to get Drake May, a tried and true playmaker at the number one wide receiver position, which I think is great. Again, the question becomes, what are the assets you're going to have to give up to get a big name like A.J. Brown? I don't know. I'm assuming the Eagles also said, yeah, okay, nope, see ya. But again, things could change. There's always a price tag, but that's what makes me nervous. Is that price tag way too high? Same with DK Metcalf. Is that price tag way too high? Who knows? But moving forward, I think the question is, do we think that we can realistically guess who the number one wide receiver on the Patriots is going to be? Is it going to be a Kendrick Bourne? Somehow is it going to be Jalen Polk? Is it going to be Chris Godwin? Is it somehow we're going to trade for DK Metcalf or A.J. Brown or whoever? Darius Slayton, is he going to come in? I don't know. Is it going to be McMillan from Arizona? I don't know. Who do you think? Comment below. Who do you think is going to be New England's number one wide receiver next year? I'd love to hear it. Anyways, with that, I'm bouncing. I'm going to go take a nap, I think. Or actually, I'm just probably going to go to bed. But I know you don't care. But I'm just talking. We'll talk to you later. My name's Aaron. Hit the sub button. Peace.